Her name is Jennifer. She was a high school girl. All her peers called her Miss Odd, because she was nicknamed Dirty School Girl. No one knew why she wore an oversized school skirt and shirt with so many stitches. She was the only one sitting on her desk alone because all her classmates jeered at her. They looked at her with disdain because she was the same ridiculous girl, dirty and stinking. Even though she stunk of sweat, with an unpleasant body odor, she was the most intelligent girl in her class. It was not long when Prince Banboy enrolled in the same school as the only son of the king and noticed her quickly because she looked quite different from all the other girls. "Why do she dress like an archaic old woman of my granny's day? She is just a primitive girl, but the shocking thing is that she always come first in her class," his best friend replied. It was true that Jennifer was a dirty schoolgirl and all the boys referred to her as the ridiculous girl. Despite all that, she kept her herd up and still took first in her class. All the girls who wanted the prince to woo them wondered why after all the beautiful well-dressed girls, with tight-fitting school attires never caught the sight of the charming prince. They learned from his friend Sheen Soki that the only one who drew his attention was Jennifer the ridiculous girl. When they asked him why, he said it was her tattered outfit and the fact that she took first in her class. Though the prince had no interest in her, it was her oddness. So the girls decided to find out why a dirty schoolgirl like Jennifer always took first in her class, despite the fact that she had no textbook and found it hard to pay her school fees. They decided to find the secret of the dirty schoolgirl. One of them opted to find her secret. The girl pretended to be her friend and went to Jennifer twisting her nose. It was an illusion created that she was stinking and everyone twisted their nose when they were beside her. They made mockery out of her and as a laughing stock. But when she asked Jennifer, "What is the secret of your wonderful performance in academics?" "Micah, the only secret is, I use what others have and don't make good use of it. When I have the opportunity I do make good of it." Micah misunderstood her and thought she used black magic, so she wondered, "So that's the magic of your success?" "Yes, that is my magic." Like a joke, Micah visited a witch to find out the secrets of Jennifer's high intelligence quotient. The witch doctor didn't find any clue of her magic and lied that the secret was on her dirty garments. "As you said, the magic is on her dirty garments. If you want to make her fail her exams, all you need to do is give her a thorough bath. Scrub her well and wear her a befitting garment and her magic will no longer be effective." Jennifer was a shy girl and no one had ever seen her laps, and even took a glimpse of her curves and edges. That was how Micah went back to school spreading the rumor that she was using charms. The condition that she was not going to be taking her bath was the magic. Anyone who whiffed at her stinky body odor lost her luck to her. They said she applied some stinking black magic powder in her skin. No one knew the scent from her skin was her home remedy against her infection. That was how the other schoolgirls plotted to strip her naked during the school feast and scrub her to destroy her magic. Micah and her friends were up to such a vicious mischief and she never knew that her dirty looks were jeopardizing them. They were planning to scrub her up like a mad gypsy. Micah's friends were planning to ridicule Jennifer by bathing and dressing her up half naked. They wanted to destroy her magic and then make mockery of her before the entire school ball. They had planned to invite her to a hidden corner during the feast and lure her to the swimming pool. They were going to bath her well with Medic Ted soap, rub her with body cream and made her up like a stripper. Then force her to find herself before the saloon where there was the feast and disgrace before everyone. She didn't want to be present at the campus ball, but due to the fact that it was mandatory and obligatory she had to be there. She never thought anyone could be bothered of her dirty looks. She had become used to being addressed as a ridiculous girl, Miss Odd and dirty schoolgirl. While going to the feast she had nothing to put on, so she borrowed her single mother's gown and was seen inside like a mistaken identity. Everyone was going to dress with tight-fitting skirts, trying to look enticing and enchanting especially for the eyes of Prince Banboy who was a special guest. He could just pick interest on one of them, so they had to look good. He seemed not quite interested on any girl but his best friend said that he had not seen her kind of girl. For sure within his heart there was an empty space that had not perceived the right speck to make it tremble. All he needed was a little pretty face to tickle his affection. He went to the party as an obligation because he had already known all the girls in the school and their prejudice didn't catch his attention. As a prince he had to be there and behave responsibly and gain the respect he deserved. He also wanted to attend the school feast for the first time and get familiar with ordinary people and peers. As for Jennifer, she was just participating in the school feast as an obligation. That was how Jennifer found herself at the school ball. When everyone had mustered in the saloon, her foes lured her to the swimming pool and forcefully undressed and washed her. After that they wore a half-stripped skirt and a blouse that exposed her breast hanging on her lingerie. Her cleavage was like that of a virgin. A light makeup on her face, and then they pushed her in the middle of the crowd. She held her skirt with her hands, feeling shamed and shy. The rabble was laughing at her, but she caught the attention of one guy. Prince Banboy got up from his seat and asked Nsoki, his best friend, "Who is that beautiful girl? Don't you know Jenny, the ridiculous girl?" "What? But she was wearing an old granny's gown, the mischief of Micah, I think. But she looked like God took 30 days to sculpt her." Then Jennifer rushed out and scurried home, swearing to avenge such act. The prince went after her but lost sight of her in the dark. He ran back panting to his friend, "I couldn't reach her, she vanished in the dark. She is shy of dressing like that, but she was like a blossoming flower just out of its petals. In fact, she is my ideal girl." The foes of Jennifer never knew they had ignited an emotion that was like a quiet stream but running deep. Through the party, half of the girls tried to have a dance with the prince, but he turned them down. His mind was fantasizing over the beautiful Jennifer. It was not long when Micah and her friends found out that they had caused the prince to find his missing rib. That was when they swore Jennifer could never go out with the prince. The serious rivalry was gradually emerging while Jennifer was not aware. She had sparked the emotions of the prince, who was yearning for her. Inside those her tattered garment was an innocent soft beauty who caught the attention of the prince. When Micah and her crew learned that the prince had fallen in love with her, they assigned one of the girls to tell the prince that Jennifer used black magic to pass her exams. The allegations were justified by the fact that the charm was annihilated during the school party and she was never going to take first in class again. The prince was not convinced because his love for her was unbearable. So he told the girl that if Jennifer didn't come first, he was going to believe them and then try to forget about her. So Micah and her friends decided to work hard not only to prove their point but to get the attention of the prince. Jennifer never knew they had disgraced her before the entire school just for a common rumor. She had no friend, and no one cared to alert her that the prince was in love with her and the other girls were trying to persuade him to hate her. The prince wanted to ask her but thought she was going to renew the charm. She knew they hated her. When she found out that the bully girls had formed study groups, she knew they wanted to defy her position. The fury of what conspired at the campus social feast made her determined to triple her studies. She read and slept memorizing and got up early to read before doing her morning duties. She had understood the game and was wishing to receive a scholarship. For the scholarships always came through the presidential degree. That was her hope, and she was seriously working hard to maintain her position. Everyone knew she was going to fail because she had changed her old gown, but it was still an oversized school uniform. Just because of her dirtiness, she drew the attention of everyone. Though it was hate, the only one the other girls admired got attracted by her. The very reason they were burning with rage. And so they had to prove her wrong through school results. She was ignorantly working hard, and for the first time the entire crew of the bully girls was seriously bent on their book studying. Just because they wanted to impress the prince and steal him from Jennifer. She came from a poor background, that is why she never wanted to disappoint her single mum. She was the only hope she had. It was an academic war that was going on. One day when they were in class, a student stood right in front of the class and jabbered, "I will see how those who use juju to pass their exams and be first in this class will succeed this time." The class started murmuring, while the prince wondered if black magic could make someone pass his exams. He had watched Jennifer and she was a very serious and devoted student. One thing about her was that she never gave the wrong answers even if the teacher asked a question to her by surprise. We were taught that history is the study of past events. What is the use of history in our present events and future? As for me, I don't know, but if I had to respond to that, I will say, from our past mistakes we can correct our future. Politicians use references from the past to lead the people. If you can be able to think out of the box, then it means you are a clever girl. What is the secret of your success? From the very first day school started learning and studying. I believe every day is an examination day.